Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. The most frequently asked question I get all the time is what one ingredient has made the biggest difference to my skincare routine and helped me to achieve my skin goals? That answer will always be, and has always been, azelaic acid. There are so many different ingredients on the skincare market. I know it can seem a little bit overwhelming, but I would genuinely say if you were to choose one ingredient for your routine aside from sunscreen, I think the true non-negotiable should be azelaic acid. It offers such a range of benefits. It's really easy to slot into your skincare routine. There's loads of affordable options out there and it works for just about every single skin type. So in today's video, I want to do an azelaic acid 101. If you're already an established azelaic acid user, this video could be a useful reminder, a quick check to make sure you're doing everything right, maximizing your results. If you're completely new to azelaic acid, this is a video that hopefully will get you started. So sit back, relax, let's talk the secret to perfect skin. Now, in today's video, I'm going to share with you my own hot take when it comes to azelaic acid. I've been using this ingredient for the past 5 years, which has crossed my 5-year anniversary, which is why I wanted to talk about it now. But I want to know what your own experience has been with this ingredient. So reach down into the comments section below and let me know the length of time that you've been using azelaic acid in your skincare routine, your favorite serum, and the results that you've seen, like your azelaic acid before and afters. If you're completely new to this ingredient, again, let me know down in the comments and share with me any questions that you might have and need answers to, because ultimately I'm here to help you guys. And as always, this video isn't sponsored and it isn't in paid partnership. I speak from the heart and not the wallet. So if you appreciate truly independent skincare advice and recommendations that haven't been bought, then you're in the right place. And the best way to support me is by reaching down and giving the video a big thumbs up and a like. This honestly means the world to me, so just thank you from the bottom of my heart to each and every one of you that has liked 1 or 100 videos over my time here on YouTube. Genuinely, I am so grateful. Now, without further ado, let's cut that waffle and delve straight on in. So in today's video, you can probably see I am super excited because I feel that azelaic acid is a bit of a pet passion of mine in skincare because it really does slip under the radar. You don't hear a lot of people speaking about it, which is why I think a lot of people don't know how to use it or maybe aren't aware of it. So it doesn't feature in many people's skincare routines. And I really want that to change because if you use azelaic acid correctly, it can offer a whole suite of benefits with just one serum. And as I said earlier in the video, it is really suitable for almost all skin types. So in today's video, we're going to cover it all. I'm going to share with you the benefits of azelaic acid, how to use it, what you can layer and pair it alongside, and then ultimately I'll share with you my favorite azelaic acid serums. I've left some timestamps down in the description box below, so if you want to jump to one section of the video over another, they're all there for your convenience, so be my guest. Now let's start out with the benefits of azelaic acid. Now, the reason that it's worked so well for me, I feel, over these 5 years is it's doing multiple different things in my routine. And as I said, you only need one product to achieve that. So first and foremost, azelaic acid is great at calming redness and inflammation in the skin. So the world throws a lot at our face every single day. We might be using high potency actives, we have sun exposure, exposure to particulate matter, free radicals in the world around us, and they stress out the skin. That stress can then lead to hyperpigmentation, a loss of collagen and elastin, and flaking, peeling, and just a damaged skin barrier. Anything we can use in our skincare routine to reduce inflammation and just reset that equilibrium is going to be a good thing for our skin health, and azelaic acid is one of the best ingredients to do that. It's also, in all of the studies, shown to be one of the most effective ingredients for targeting redness. So if you're somebody that has a very redness prone skin, you might have rosacea, particularly across the cheeks. You might be someone that flushes a lot when you get warm or in summer. Azelaic acid can really help counter a lot of that, and I think that's why it's such an important ingredient. Very few ingredients actually treat the underlying causes of redness. Azelaic acid is one of them, so it's just a great addition to anyone who has a more redness prone skin type or is prone to a lot of sensitivity and inflammation. Azelaic acid is also superb at reducing hyperpigmentation. Not only is it anti-inflammatory, so kind of cutting off that excess pigment production at source, but it's also great at helping even out the pooling of that pigment. So we get dark spots and discoloration where pigment pools in an uneven distribution. Azelaic acid just helps to even that all out. So the appearance is a more even skin tone. And again, that's just a boost to skin confidence, which if you use it alongside other hyperpigmentation treatments such as tranexamic acid, alpha-arbutin and the like, you can really get some next level results. Azelaic acid is also fantastic if you suffer with breakouts or congested skin. I just hit 40, but I still have adult acne and I still break out. And this is a real source of insecurity for me. Azelaic acid is hands down the most effective ingredient I've used in the long term for treating that adult acne. And that's because it's actually proven to reduce acne causing bacteria on the skin. So whether there's a teenager in your life going through those hormonal breakouts, maybe it's something for yourself, you're in your 40s, 50s or beyond and having their adult acne episodes like I do, azelaic acid will really help reduce that. And it also reduces the scarring, the hyperpigmentation that can come after a breakout. So it's kind of working to prevent at the source, but also treat any of the side effects from a breakout that you might get. This for me has been a game changer, and I really wish I started using azelaic acid in my teens, because I tell you what, I would have had a much easier ride if I had. And then last but by no means least, azelaic acid actually works really well alongside other actives to reduce the side effects you might see. So if you're somebody that uses high strength retinoids, exfoliating acids, vitamin C's, and you find the skin is a little sensitive, irritated, if you pair them with azelaic acid, it actually offsets a lot of those side effects, which means you can either continue to use the products that you're using with fewer side effects, or you can actually go up a notch, go to a higher strength whilst also not dialing up the side effects you see. That's why I think it's so important to talk about layering and pairing with azelaic acid, because used on its own, phenomenal. Pair it with other actives, it's like a game changer, a next level addition to your skincare routine. So in this section of the video, I guess let's come on to that layering. What can you use with azelaic acid? Well, basically everything. And I know people see acid in the title and it freaks them out a little bit. There are different forms of acids in skincare. Exfoliating acids, which you have to go with caution, use sparingly, and watch what you're layering and pairing with. There are other acids like azelaic acid and tranexamic acid that have acid in the title, but you can use frequently, often, and alongside all your other actives with no problems at all. So I would say azelaic acid will work with every single active ingredient you have in your skincare routine. The only thing I would say to look out for is to make sure you're not doubling up too much on your azelaic acid, maybe using 2 or 3 serums, say, that contain it. Be a bit mindful of that because you don't want to use too much of it. But azelaic acid will be the best pairing you'll make with your retinoids, including tretinoin, with your exfoliating acid like glycolic acid, salicylic acid, and with your high potency vitamin C's. I would actively encourage people to use azelaic acid alongside these because it reduces the side effects and irritation. It is just the best friend to every single skincare active out there. Now, there are some things that I definitely think azelaic acid pairs well with. I mentioned some earlier. Tranexamic acid, because they work in a similar way and kind of complement the benefits of each other. Alpha-arbutin, because that again is a great pigment corrector which will double down on the hyperpigmentation benefits. And kojic acid is also a great ingredient to use alongside azelaic acid because it again has some acne fighting benefits, so it kind of doubles down on what you're going to see in terms of reducing breakouts. But you can use your azelaic acid with everything. So just take it from me, it is the easiest thing to slot into your skincare routine. I would recommend using azelaic acid twice a day if your skin can tolerate it, morning and evening. You might want to start gradually, maybe just use it on the morning and then build up to twice a day. See what your skin's doing. If you get a lot of prickling, then that's your skin saying maybe just once a day is enough. If, like me, you tolerate it twice a day, that's where you're going to see the maximum results. And I would look out for a strength of either 10 or 15% because those are the sweet spots that are going to deliver you maximum results whilst also minimizing the risk of any prickling or sensitivity that you have. Azelaic acid, as the skin becomes accustomed to it, becomes a lot easier to tolerate. So like I say, start gradually and build your way up. And even if you have super sensitive skin, you can use azelaic acid. Like I say, just proceed with caution, gradual, build your way up. But it's actually a really great addition because it'll reduce some of that sensitivity down. Now, before we come on to my favorite azelaic acid serums, the ones that I now currently use, having trialed so many over the past 5 years, let's just do a quick, which is better, prescription azelaic acid or over the counter. Now, there are some differences. A lot of people will point to products like Finacea, which is a prescription strength azelaic acid, either in 15% or 20%, and say, what's the difference between that and a 15% over-the-counter option? Well, there are some subtle differences. When something is a prescription medication, it comes with a whole host of testing that has to be done on it. And prescription azelaic acid will focus down on the deliverable azelaic acid. So that's the amount that's bioavailable. So if you see 15% 15% on a prescription strength azelaic acid, that will be 15% that's actually getting into the skin and delivering. That has to be tested, trialed, and proven. With an over-the-counter option, some of the bioavailability can be a little lower. So you might be reaching for a 15% and you're actually getting 12 or 13% in terms of its bioavailable form. That is less stringently tested and proven in an over-the-counter cosmetic versus a prescription option. That's the key difference. Also, prescription options focus down on that bioavailability and don't focus on the application, how it feels on the skin, the other actives that you can pair alongside it. It's generally going to be a much more basic formula that will probably feel a little bit more grainy, maybe less enjoyable in terms of the application, and can have a little bit more of a stinging when you use it. The over-the-counter ones generally have been worked on to deliver a more enjoyable application and will generally have fewer side effects in that initial period. That's not always the case, but that is a broad comparison of the two. For me, I think over-the-counter is the way forward. I enjoy using those over-the-counter serums more because they feel better on the skin. You're still getting a lot of bioavailability, so that isn't something I particularly worry about, especially if you go with a trusted brand. And for me, it's just the ease of access. If you're using a prescription strength azelaic acid, keep at it. But I think sometimes you see these comparisons between a 15% prescription versus a 15% over the counter, and people kind of chew it over for hours saying there's so many differences. There's not a whole lot of difference. Differences do exist, but the two, to me, at least in my experiences, have been roughly comparable. So let's come on to some of my favorite over-the-counter options. So I guess let's start out with one of my first azelaic acids I ever used, and it's this, the Dr. Sam Flawless Brightly Pro. They do two versions, the Flawless Brightly and the Pro. The Pro is just the stronger version, the one I think personally works better. This is a great option, and I think one of the first products to really bring azelaic acid to the masses, and for that, they will always have my heart. This has a high dose of azelaic acid alongside some kojic acid, which again I mentioned earlier is a perfect pairing to help reduce hyperpigmentation, dark spots, and discoloration. It's also got some other brightening agents in here too. It's got a touch of bakuchiol, which has some great anti-aging benefits, and it's just an all-round genius little serum. I love this. It's not the cheapest product out there, and I have got some much more affordable options coming, so don't worry. But I think if you're looking to use azelaic acid in a hyperpotent form that's going to deliver you maximum dark spot reduction, this is a really great product to go for. And I feel like I have to start these recommendations with this because this is where I started my azelaic acid journey and was one of the first really over-the-counter available options that went viral. So we owe this little product a lot. I feel one of the cheaper options to this, if you don't want to spend Dr. Sam money, then I actually created my own azelaic acid serum, which is this. This is the Mad About Skin Dual Action Dark Spot Serum. 10% azelaic acid coupled with tranexamic acid and alpha-arbutin all together to give you maximum dark spot correction. Super inexpensive, bought in isolation is $17.99, so less than $20. And this is going to deliver you a real powerful punch of the azelaic acid alongside all those other complementary actives, which are going to reduce inflammation, target sensitivity, but also really help to fade any dark spots and discoloration you have. This is a great option that I think will work for everyone because that 10% is a sweet spot with azelaic acid that should be universal. Again, still start gradually and build your way up, but you should have no problems with a 10% azelaic acid. And like I say, pairing it with alongside all those other actives that it works so well with just made perfect sense to me, which is why I really wanted to create that in a super affordable price point, so it's just available to everyone. I would say that azelaic acid takes around 6 months to see maximum results from it, so you do have to be consistent with your use to see those maximum results. And so I would say you need 3 bottles of this to get 6 months worth of use. So I put this on a cheeky 3 for 2. You place 3 of these in your basket, then at checkout you'll only actually be paying for 2. That way you can get 6 months worth for the price of just paying for 2 bottles, and you'll be able to use all 3 of these and at the end assess the results that you've got. Trust me, after that 6-month period you will be as hooked on azelaic acid as I am, and that's just my way of helping spread the cost of your skincare for you guys. If you did just want to buy 1 unit, I've also put a discount code down there that'll get you a cheeky little saving of just 1 unit, so it's really up to you. But like I say, be consistent with your azelaic acid. I think my results peaked around that 6-month point, and that's when I really never looked back. Now, another super affordable option in that 10% concentration would be the Naturium Azelaic Acid Emulsion. 10%, beautiful formula. In fact, both of these are emulsions, which means they're a slightly thicker serum, but feel velvety soft on the skin. No grittiness, no grainy texture that you can get with some azelaic acids. And the same goes for this naturium. Creamy, rich, doesn't pill, doesn't ball up, doesn't have that grittiness to it. Just a really nice option that I think is great, especially if you're shopping in the North American market where naturium are really easy to get your hands on. You can walk into Target, they sell this, and I just think it's a super affordable 10% azelaic acid. It doesn't have as many complementary actives as these two, but that's okay. If you just want your fix of azelaic acid and you want to keep it simple, there is nothing wrong with this naturium 10% emulsion. Super inexpensive, works beautifully well, and genuinely is one of my most frequent purchases when it comes to azelaic acid. Now, the last two that I want to call out are two that offer very specific benefits. First up, this is the Trinity London Naked Ambition. This, I would say, is the most potent azelaic acid over the counter. It's because it uses exosomes, which are going to really get that azelaic acid into the skin to where it needs to be in order to deliver maximum results. They're pairing it with vitamin C, which is a fantastic addition to help with the brightening element and minimizing any hyperpigmentation. And it's those exosomes that are really working for you in this serum. This is not the cheapest, but if you are impatient and you don't want to wait 6 months for your maximum azelaic acid results, you'll get them within about 3 months on this product. So yes, you're paying more, but you're getting a quicker turnaround, and those exosomes are really nice to help that penetration rate of the azelaic acid. Like I say, if you're happy to just bide your time, be consistent over 6 months, there are more affordable options in this video. But if you have like a little bit of impatient personality, like I certainly do, then this will deliver for you in the shortest possible time. And then last, but by no means least, I want to just talk about a super sensitive skin friendly azelaic acid. If you've made it this far and you almost don't believe me when I say azelaic acid works for everyone, maybe you have super sensitive skin and you're like, yeah, the idea of using anything with acid in the name just freaks me out and I don't want to go there. Get this. This is the Geek and Gorgeous A-Pad serum. This is an azelaic acid derivative. Now, derivatives of azelaic acid, much more gentle, easier to tolerate on the skin. You won't get any prickling or sensitivity, but you do have to bide your time. A derivative will take roughly twice as long to deliver the same results as a pure form azelaic acid, but you're kind of guaranteed to get 0 side effects. Still patch test because all our skin is unique, but generally speaking, it has a really high tolerance level in the skin, so most people will be fine with an azelaic acid derivative. I think if you have super sensitive skin and you feel a little intimidated, Geek and Gorgeous A-Game gives you that high dose azelaic acid but in derivative form. Just be aware that you're going to have to invest a little bit longer to see those results, but that's fine. I always say skincare is a marathon, not a sprint. We're investing now for those long-term payoffs, and this is kind of like a foolproof way to use your azelaic acid. It's a water-based serum, unlike the emulsions that I've talked about earlier, so if you like that really lightweight water-based serum, this could be a great option for you. It's just a really nice, affordable azelaic acid derivative, and I think that for me is nice to have in the market so that people really have choice. And that is my azelaic acid 101. Take it from me, somebody that's been on an azelaic acid journey for the past 5 years, I am never going back. Azelaic acid, as I said, bar sunscreen, is the one true non-negotiable in my skincare routine. So many benefits, one serum, and so easy to use when you know how. And hopefully this video has helped you with that. But let me know if you've made it to the bitter end in this video, part of the bitter end crew. I'm sending you a big wave and so much love. Let me know by reaching down into the comment section and leaving the heart emoji and sharing with me the azelaic acid that you're currently using. What's that one product that you reach for every single day with azelaic acid? Don't gatekeep it, share it with the world, because I just love to hear your recommendations. And thank you so much for being with me on what is a 5-year journey here on YouTube and with azelaic acid and being here to the bitter end. I love you guys so much. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, I love your skin. Take care. Bye.